Okay, so hey, I'm Chris from Great Brick Lab. Welcome to today's stream. If you have any comments or questions, well, there's nobody here yet, so we won't even bother mentioning that. Today, I'm going to go over sorting of Lego. By the way, I'm still sick. I've been sick for a while now, and I'm still not feeling well. So we're going to go through this quickly and as efficiently as I can. If there's questions that come up, I'll cover them. So who are we? We are a Lego warehouse. I say the word massive. We're huge. I'm grateful to be as big as we are and have as many parts as we do have. But today's goal is to detail out the breakdown process from the purchase of some Lego and the steps that it goes through before it ends up in those Acro Mills drawers for a customer order. I've been explaining this because I'm hiring new staff. I've been explaining this to different ways. There are two main lines. We have the raw materials processing line, which is the bulk. What do we do with the bulk? How do we get it prepped? How do we get the quality product out of our system or out of the raw materials and into drawers? Once it's in a drawer, it's in the production line. That production line is the point when a customer can make an order, and then we're all about the customer at that point in time. So we got all this prep work, and that's the raw materials line. Then we got the production line, and the production line ships orders to customers ultimately. And the ultimate goal is to have a very efficient running production line. So, how do we get to those products? So we have three different levels. So come with me. I got this prepared. These are the three levels. Okay. So this is level one. This is bulk. And I'll open that up and we'll look in there. That is bulk Lego. This is sorted bulk. So this one here goes home with somebody, comes back and looks like this. Then that has 24 different categories in it. And we'll go through those categories in that box there. And then this is category, looks like category 17. The number doesn't matter as much as the product is in there. And then I've also got this shelf here that we're going to take a look at, some of the ways that it breaks down, and show you what we can do when it's broken down like this. This is not inventory. This is not available for customers, but this is one thing you can do with your sorted bulk. And then ultimately, once it gets broken down, then you have beautiful drawers of these parts. All of these parts started off as bulk and then were broken down into these drawers. Now, these are some of the nicest, neatest, clean drawers. A typical drawer of parts that we do, the way we do it, is all very random parts. Very random. It looks random, but it totally works. So if you were to take this drawer and put it into a pour tray, you'd be able to quickly find what you're looking for. So the organization of parts doesn't matter. I know a lot of people want to consolidate all the parts, but for us, it doesn't matter because consolidating parts just takes time. Our goal is to fill drawers at capacity as quickly as possible and just pour these drawers out, find the part you're looking for the customer, and spread them out all over the store. We send those drawers home and they get filled by individuals off site, including myself. All right. Good morning, Milkman Bricks. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for commenting. So let's do number one. So purchases of bulk. There's other videos that are out there about where you buy bulk. We still buy bulk every once in a while, but not a great deal of it. We don't really need a whole lot more bulk. We have just garages full of bulk. I still like buying Lego. Mostly I buy it for the enjoyment of it, but I don't really need to buy it anymore. Excuse me, I need to take a drink. Now I'm talking all the time. Okay, so good morning, Daddy Old Bricks. So let us now grab bulk and see what it looks like. And what do they do? So this is bulk. Now this came to us, however it came to us, a big box, a big tub, came from somebody's home, came from auction websites. It's just Lego. And good morning, Everett. Thanks for joining. Okay, so here's philosophically, Ralph, drinking in the morning. Yeah, I'm telling you, need a drink. Um, I think about this a lot, but that maybe not philosophically, but um, people get overwhelmed with their Lego collections. So if a mom had kids that grew up in the home, oh, look at that right there, fun. If a mom had kids or a dad had kids or there's a family or whoever it is, um, they have Lego that they buy from the Walmart and they build the sets and then they build more sets and then there's no room on the shelf for the sets. They take the shelves down, sets down, they buy more sets and then they end up with a tub of Lego like this. Everybody eventually at some point ends up with a tub of Lego like this. So why don't they keep the tub? Why don't they just sort it themselves? Well, it's an overwhelming process to sort these Lego. So that's why we essentially get hired, and I'll include Ralph's Bricks, Dunder Mifflin, Daddy O Bricks. I don't know if you guys, the other guys, all have stores. If you have a store, you're basically getting paid to do the sorting of that Lego for people who are willing to buy that Lego. And there is an endless supply of this stuff. It really is. They've been making it for 40 years. They haven't changed the connection of the elements. So hence there is a fabulous aftermarket for this. But it's because the process of sorting and organizing Lego is so overwhelming that a business like mine can have a purpose and get paid to do what we do. If sorting Legos was easy and the logistics of storing it and finding it was easy, then everybody would do it and there'd be less bulk. People would do their own. Those people who have a desire to pay for Lego would just do it themselves. There are a couple of other additional parts that make this possible. Lego has made so many elements, so some elements are no longer produced, some are very rare. So there's just some parts of this that you just can't get away from, that they'll always make a store like us viable. Now, if we collectively, people as a people, as a world, figure out the Lego sorting process and it becomes easy, then it's going to be harder to get, and the price of bulk is probably going to go up. I'm not sure. Maybe it just becomes more regularly available. But the logistics of housing it and getting to a part quickly, that's always going to be a challenge, because that you can't get away from the fact that it is just work. It is just work to do it. So there's why, when you can acquire bulk like this, if you come up with the logistics process to process this and get it down to the individual elements that you can deliver to a customer quickly at the point of an order, then you can do this. And that's what we took the last 8 years to develop. And that's the sorting process that I'm going to go over today. So that's why there's so much bulk available, because who wants to sort all their bulk? Okay, so let's get a pour tray. And we're just going to grab random Lego. Has the storage done this? So cool build. It's a mobile fish, a wheeled whale. No, it's a whale. This is a whale on wheels. Very cool. That'll be my inspiration for the day. And then we're going to have this Venom. I think this is Venom. Venom is going to ride. Where's my video? Why did my video go away? So the video on my computer is gone. I believe this one is still active. So we'll hope that comes back. Okay, so I'm breaking this down. This is it. So I'm breaking it down, and eventually this is going to get sorted into categories. I am not going to do every single category. I need to take a part tool. That is not a Lego. So there's another human element to it. So these are not Lego. That's why it was so hard to get apart. That is not a Lego. Is this not a Lego? That is not a Lego. Those last few parts I probably just took apart are probably all not Lego. That's sad. So all of these bits right here are not Lego. So this is all not Lego, right down to the wheels. Okay, so this is not Lego. And when I say not Lego, it's compatible with Lego, but not marketable like Lego. Isn't it great that how unique Lego itself is? That if it's not a Lego, it's not marketable, but if it is a Lego, there's an aftermarket for it. I mean, that's just amazing to me. The quality of the Lego products are just higher than other bricks. The reason I knew that wasn't a Lego, I started to feel the quality of it in my fingers. This is also not. All right, we're back. So, okay, so what have I done here? I have broken this Lego out. So category, there's tiles, there's glass, window, 1x2 brick, greater than 1x2 brick. So even when we send this out to sorters, um, there's enough elements that they have an individual creative flair to what they do. But as long as there's a consistency for what they do, then it doesn't matter. Okay, and I'll get to that in a minute when we show the next categories. Okay, so I think I saw more non-Lego up in here. This one right here. Yeah, that's more non-Lego. We'll get rid of that. Okay, so some people break these pins off into their own category, and then this. Some people actually do more than that. There's there's 1x2, greater than 1x2, large plate, tiles, 2x2 brick, modified, but the regular 2x2 bricks go in there as well. Window or transparent. Some people do transparent as an own category. Window, greater than 2x2 brick, round things, arches. So there's a few categories that I just came up with. And if I continue to break down and break down and break down, then you get it. So, okay, moving on. But a lot of my time on that particular part of it was the take apart process. And I don't ever think a robot will be able to do the take apart process. Okay, here we go. Moving on. So that is number one. Okay, so that's box one. Then now we see the results of an individual sorter. Now, when I hire a sorter, I tell the sorters to be consistent at their own level. Their individual consistency is what's most important, not to be sorting it exactly like everybody else. Um, they will never sort like everybody else. There's too many elements, there's too much variation. The goal is to develop a muscle memory as an individual of consistently putting the parts in the same place. Now, 24 is our prescribed number of categories. Some of them come up with more than that. But let's look at this individual's categories. Okay, so what is this thing here? Looks like minifig bits, which there's always a lot of that kind of thing. So they've got a boat in here, which is kind of maybe too big. They got a motorcycle in here, a horse, anything that maybe a minifig would hold on to, ride, or touch. That's what they've got in here. So let's pull these motorcycles out, pull this horse out, and kind of make that not as filled up. So there's one there, and I'm going to create another box for that one there, or bag. So just that level of breakdown right there, that's with cataloging. Take that, catalog it, throw it into a drawer. Take this bag, catalog that, put that right into a drawer. Here's another category. Now this individual here does sort down the 1x1 plates and tiles. The square ones or the non-round. I see some curved ones in here. But I don't see what is in this one also in this one. So these are broken down. That's pretty good. That's pretty successful. They actually are putting brackets in here as well. That's a pretty good breakdown. Okay, so containers, windows, glass. There's a stair piece in there. Plant parts. For some reason, this person always puts plants with these little teeth instead of that, but like the individual themselves is very consistent. Okay, so Technic, bits of all kinds. That's probably going to have more than one bag there. Okay, here's 1x. Greater than 1x2. Oh, they put a 1x2 hinge in there. Tiles, including round tiles. Anything that doesn't have a stud on top, essentially. 1x2s, including 1x2s that are tall. Excuse me. 2x2 plates, modifieds. So these are just wonderful categories. This is a great sorter. This person's been, it's okay, 1x1 round barrels and cones. Wedges, perfect. I mean, very good. Oh, they put arches in their wedges. Interesting. More wedges. 2x2 brick. Did they leave out the modifieds? No, I see a few modifieds in there. What is this? This is non-Lego. This is the stuff that won't sell. There's a tire in here. That looks like Lego to me, but maybe there's a reason they rejected it. That's a Lego right there. So sometimes they're a lack of experience, or maybe it's damaged and I just can't see the damage on it. But sometimes we do go through these and we find Legos that they reject as Lego. But because there's so much intensity to the process, another 1x2, we just kind of keep the productivity moving forward. I'm not going to get upset over a piece that's in here when they did all of this other work and I still get great value out of these pieces. Rounds. I mean, I hope you guys are seeing this okay, but this is just a gorgeous breakdown of parts, you know? And the farther I dig, the bigger the bags are getting. And there's print parts. If I was to catalog just this one thing of print parts, that would add the variety to our store. That would create so much more depth of variety and increase orders a great deal. You know, large parts, panels, stuff like that. So this person did a good job of breaking down bulk into individual categories that we can quickly then catalog. So what we would obviously have to do with this next is if I grab an easy one, I know that I've buried it. Let's see if I can get it out there without it cracking open on me. All right, so this is a really good example. So the next goal for this. Now, lately I haven't been doing this. Lately I'll just grab a handful out of here and I would just catalog that right to a drawer. Now, other times I will take the time to find all of, for example, there's 3. I immediately just found that one there a little dirty. So if I was to just, begin to sort this a little bit, I mean, if I continued to do this work, I would obviously end up with a lot of parts like this. So there you go. Okay, so now this category here is a pretty good example because this one here does not get a lot of individual. Most people who sort this category do it pretty close to being the same from sorter to sorter to sorter. I have just tubs of this size brick. Like 50-pound tubs time 150-pound tub probably times, I don't know, 50. It's hard for me to estimate. Yes, I will take each one of those small bags and catalog them, or send them out for cataloging, or send them out for an additional sort. Some people will be like, "Hey, can I just take one category and sort that only? And what do you pay for something like that?" Because they're trying to keep their work at home a little exciting and different. Ralph, why are your chats showing up as 2 different people? That's interesting. Or am I not supposed to say that? Okay, here we go. Next level. So this person did a good job of breaking it down. I would, if they came to me and dropped this off, I'd be like, yes, I would be happy to rehire you This work pays, it starts off at $1.35 per pound where we're at. So they're not getting rich off of it, but because they can do it at home, they can do it while they're watching TV, podcasts. I don't care. I pay for per the pound productivity. This person did a good job. I actually think this person's rate has gone up significantly from that original rate because of the quality of the work they do. Next. All right. What category do we have here? I think this is window panels. Okay. So this has been in storage probably 3 years, just waiting for somebody to come and get it and do something with it. This is not going to be one individual. Um, this is going to be multiple people. What we used to do is we would take this and open up these bags and just all dump it right into one big container and fill it all the way up. But what I've learned with this is just keep them in the bags because, like I said, that individual creativity per bag is still there, and this is going to be multiple people. So here's the question. So based on the way you catalog and store parts unconsolidated, why sort it all? Why not just make small bags of sorted and catalog those? I do that. You're absolutely correct. I do that. I will get a bag of bulk. I will put my hand into the bulk, pull it out, and catalog that right to a drawer. I've been doing that, and that's actually been great to add a lot of variety to the store. But this sent home with somebody who's willing to do another level sort creates volume of parts organized. Um, but if you're right, Ralph, I could completely just stop what we're doing and just straight up right from bulk to drawer and cataloging. Okay, yeah, I could do that. It would be completely possible, and it would still sell really well. So this particular category has enough variety that indeed it would. I could sort this entire bag and I would probably have 50 to maybe 75 different piles if I tried to collect it. Like if I did this, like, okay, so there's two elements that match, and there's so much other variety in here, including a non-Lego. There's so much elemental variety in here that it's almost not worth taking the time to sort this. It's more valuable just to go in here and grab a handful and start cataloging it. So what is the purpose of sorting this? I don't know. Um, there's not really a lot of good purpose in sorting this particular category, but you do need to separate this from the other categories. If I was to sort this whole container and I said, I'm going to sort this whole container before I catalog, I would probably sort this for close to 10 hours. And I could take less than 10 hours. I could probably catalog the entire thing in about 5. The reason it would take more time to sort this, and I still have to catalog it after I do that sort. The reason it takes less time to just straight up catalog this is because I can grab a handful and move it right to the drawer. I don't have to have the space and remember in my head where I've been putting things. It's faster to just straight up just grab a handful and catalog it. The time it would take to break this down and remember all those different areas of where individual parts are at is so time consuming and space consuming. This is much more. I did this actually with one of these last bags, and I started in my head remembering I've sorted that white window 18 times. So that means I've created 18 additional new locations, and that is a made up number. It doesn't matter. 18 different locations just in one file that I've added to the store very recently. For you, if you're an unconsolidated store, that would be totally frustrating and impossible for you to fathom of doing that. But I saved myself, and I'm estimating, but I saved myself, let's say 10 hours of time. And that's just the sorting process. I still would have had to actually go through the cataloging process. I just straight to cataloging it, and I saved all that time. So the sorting process is really unnecessary. And The purpose behind sorting it, or sorting any Lego for that matter, why am I sorting it? I'm sorting it to get it into a drawer and up for sale for a customer. Customers really don't care if it's sorted. All they want is the parts they put in their order. So why sort it? It's not for the customer. It's for me. I don't need it to be sorted because I'm not going to these drawers to build with them. I can find the parts if I needed them because the catalog is there, the inventory is there. So sorting all this parts doesn't have a lot of purpose. Now, the breakdown of these parts is a goal that we've been working towards. We've been working towards a buildup of volume of particular areas because in the end, some things just have a great real volume. I mean, let's take a walk. There's just, you get to a certain level and some things are in volume. I mean, all of these one by one red. I mean, I don't know where all these volumes came from. I can't honestly say, but at some point in time, we did do all this work. So some level of work is very valuable to that. And so let me counter my own argument. If we take no time to sort and somebody comes by and buys all of that white window that I was talking about with the 18 different locations, yes, I have to go to all 18 different locations to collect that part for that customer's order. And it is time consuming, for sure. And it would have been quicker to sort on the front end or on the back end. That is debatable, probably measurable, but nobody really has proven to me that sorting it up front, finding all those drawers is more valuable than just keep adding to drawers and get those sales. The faster we add the drawers, the more sales we're going to get because of that variety. So that is the end of our stream today. If you have additional questions, contact me. I believe in the comments there is a link to the Discord for our robot. The Great Brick Lab Discord has now become a community of like-minded people who are trying to build a Lego sorting robot. And I barely am involved. The management of it is done by other members of the Discord. So thank you to those members who are managing that Discord for the sake of community, conversation about a Lego sorting robot. If you do like this kind of content, let me know what you're looking for. I am also telling you now that this is probably my last year operational manager of Great Brick Lab. 2026, I hope to be ready with a new person to take over my role as the operations manager, and I will become the new division head of the robotics wing of our company. I have to grow that. I have to develop all that. And that's my hope for 2026. So thank you for joining. If you have things you want to know about, just let me know and we'll talk about them.